With the growth of remote work, especially accelerated by COVID, alternate remote lifestyles are becoming more and more common. Companies like Swiggy even have official moonlight policies that let employees work on side projects along with their main job. As a creative designer who's interested in multiple fields, this presents an amazing opportunity to balance work and lifestyle while continuing to earn really well. In this video, Jayneil and I discuss the possibilities of lifestyle design, how people are working remotely from their hometown or from places like Goa, and some of the lifestyle differences between living abroad and in India. So let's get into it. Companies like Swiggy, for example, they've actually announced a permanent remote policy.
Seriously?
Yeah. Swiggy, Meesho, I think even Google and Microsoft have done that to some extent.
Damn, dude.
But Indian companies have done that.
So I think we've talked about, like the salary and stuff. You can check out our video about like how much money you can make if you're thinking about pursuing a career in product design. But I think what doesn't get talked about is the lifestyle that you have being a product designer. So I used to previously, work as an engineer and do a lot of coding and work getting demos ready when I was at Texas Instruments. And, it's fun and fascinating. But a lot of my days, were like sitting in my cubicle and there'd be like a deadline and I had to make sure I code by then. I had the demo ready. So a lot of it was just sitting in my cubicle coding, very less interaction with people, just getting the code ready by myself. And like sometimes even like weeks would go like that. And the only interaction would be my managers like, are we progressing? I'm like, yeah, we're 35% through, we're 40% through, and that's that. And being a designer now, I look at my day-to-day structure is very different. I'm interacting with product managers. I'm talking with engineers. I'm talking with a lot of people. I'm interviewing users. It involves interacting with people. I love that. It's not a very linear flow. Like the creative process is very messy. So I kind of like it. It blends in with my ADHD, to be honest. And the biggest thing, dude, is remote. Like I freaking work remotely right now. I don't go to the office, man. I'm in Dallas. I don't go office at all. And I can work from anywhere.
And that's a great equalizer, right? As a designer in San Francisco, in Lagos, in Bangalore, you are pretty much still designing products, still working in Figma, still applying this similar or same design process. With a lot of jobs, you are tied physically to your location. Just that remote plus hybrid kind of style that companies seem to be going towards. So, for example, Swiggy has introduced a permanent remote work from home type policy. So has companies like Meesho, right? A lot of companies are maybe also taking the middle ground. They're taking the middle ground where they say, yes, it's mostly remote, but based on which team you're in, you have to come into the office 1 day a week, 2 days a week, or every 6 weeks, you have to make a trip down to the HQ and, do all of this core stuff. So it's definitely an interesting lifestyle. It's a good lifestyle.
So help me understand this. If I'm working in Bangalore, any of these companies you mentioned that announce a remote policy, like Swiggy or Meesho, and then most of my family's in Ahmedabad, what you're saying is I could be in Bangalore or like stay in Ahmedabad, come in like every once 2 weeks or like whenever they have the HQ visit. Or if it's permanent remote, what you're saying is I can actually just stay in Ahmedabad, not move in Bangalore, not pay that extremely high cost of living and still just commute back and forth, meet people and then go back and be with my family.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. There are people in our cohort, a lot of our mentors, like some of the folks like working at even companies like Razorpay, they do that. They work pretty much living with their family in Chandigarh or in wherever their hometown is. But they also get to have the best of the Bangalore culture, meeting all these people, being in a high density network where you get to hear so much, learn so much. It accelerates your thing. And once you have to do hands-on work, kind of go back home, still fresh with that energy.
Dude, I love that. Because if I can go back home, my cost of living expenses have gone down dramatically, right? Because like I don't have to pay rent when I'm back in Ahmedabad. And then when I go and visit somebody in Bangalore, I just am there for like a week, max a month maybe. I meet all these people in the high density, get the learnings, and I'm back. And I think also something else I want to talk about is I know I have friends who like have family they need to like, take care of. And for a lot of reasons, they have hesitated to move to a city like Bangalore or Bombay for career growth. But this is really mind blowing because now you can achieve both your goals. You can, like take care, support your family, and then quickly come here, do the visit, meet the people, and then go back. So I think that's a big eye opener to me.
Yeah. And so the way I kind of see it playing is there are actually going to be a lot of people who are in the US or who've recently moved, let's say, or people who are just looking for a shift, who are going to be poached by a lot of Indian tech companies at
Yeah.
comparable salaries, comparable
Wow.
work culture as well in some
Yeah.
cases, with all the benefits of being in India,
Me
being
and
close to
actually know
family.
me and you know a couple of people like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like even I was thinking about it, like goddamn, like being an Indian, having worked in the US, or coming here, getting some experience, and coming back to India, being with your family there, and then being in a leadership role in India and making actually similar amount of money that you make in the US. That's just mind blowing. Like,
And
I'll be
your
candid
net
with you, man.
savings are higher. Your net savings are higher. You are obviously
Dude,
going to invest in property and stuff in
dude,
India.
forget net savings. I'll tell you, like point blank, like being in the US is awesome, but like one thing that India you can never beat is the social life, man. Like for me to be in Ahmedabad or Gujarat to make friends is that easy. Like boom, dude. Like the social life, like the amount of weddings you get invited to, you're just hanging out and stuff, dude. That's very different, man. Like even if you're considering, like, I mean, a lot of people say this, but this is the reality of being in the US. Like, yes, you'll make money, but at the same time, your social life is not that great as I remember back in India, man. Like everything
True.
here is structured. Like you gotta like schedule with people. Like you gotta like coordinate. Like, oh, I'm not available during the weekday. We're gonna meet on this day, dude. Back in India, is so chill, man. There's always something happening. So social life, hands down, man. If you can make that amount of money that you're making in the US, and like you're saying you can, and being in India, dude, that's just
Yeah. And I think what this flexibility of lifestyle also affords you is the freedom to take more experiments, take more risks, right? I know so many
yes,
designers who are, they have their main job. They also have some freelancing. They may be
yeah,
doing YouTube. They have some products that they're launching along the side. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not saying everybody needs to just hustle all the
yeah,
time, but there are people whose lifestyle now supports that.
yeah,
And I think that unbeatable advantage, right? Whether you want to use that extra time to create side projects and eventually make your way to becoming an entrepreneur, or you just want to use that time to have a nice village life in Goa, right? I know people who, on
yeah.
both ends of that spectrum,
Oh my
making
god.
great money, working at great companies, but lifestyle design becomes something that you can actually focus on, which is so rare. I think that's just crazy to me. Lifestyle design is like such an interesting idea,
I know.
and I don't think it's been explored enough. Right? We
And
kind of
dude,
base our lifestyles on that eight
correct.
hour day, 40-hour work week, and
Yeah,
everything's built around that.
yeah.
But once those constants become variables, a lot changes. Yeah.
Dude, you're talking about lifestyle design, right? So comparing like US versus India, right? You're making the same level of money in India as you're making in the US now with this, Zira report we just saw. Dude, for me, lifestyle design is so important. So there's all these things about like we talked about, like social life, services or facilities you can get in India, dude. You just cannot beat it.
Yeah. One thing that the internet also did is it kind of made lifestyle global and visible. What I mean by that
Yeah.
is the fact there was a time before, let's say, this mass level of social media, we had no idea what restaurants in Houston were like. We had no idea what restaurants
True.
in New York were like. Today,
Yeah.
the restaurants of Hyderabad are probably way better designed than some of the
And
major
tastes better.
cities in the world. Why? Because they've got real estate, they've got
True.
people, they are able to execute. And, with that kind of young population who is making this kind of money, they do want similar experiences. So, lifestyle in a lot of Indian cities is skyrocketing. Now, of course, the
Wow.
problem there is typically infrastructure, right? There are still traffic jams in Bangalore. There is still
Yeah.
pollution in a lot of cities, but that does seem to be a good positive direction.
So, what I'm really looking forward to when I end up coming to Bangalore, man. I really want to go to a really nice place and eat this paneer tikka masala and cheese naan. That's something I'm really, really craving.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. If you enjoyed that video, please, of course, let us know. Leave a like and comment. But besides that, this is what we do for a living. We help creatives and designers level up in their careers. If you'd like to join one of our live programs, we do them a few times a year. Check out the link in the description. It's 10kdesigners.com. And I'll see you around.